everybody. So we're back at it again. Just got through with a bay hunt with my son Michael. Lance Corporal Michael Lindbergh is home from the Marine Corps for a short period of time, so I'm trying to get him out in the woods and do as much hunting as we possibly can. We went on a bay hunt the day after Christmas, and a lot of people with us, so made it a little bit chaotic, but we had a good time. It was nice to sit in the blind with my son again and actually shoot at some birds. So I did buy something new. I got a new toy, and the toy I got was a Stoeger M3000. I traded in a couple guns, got that shotgun specifically for Michael to use when he got home. That way he'd have something to shoot, and then I would have a throwdown shotgun just in case my A400 that's sitting behind me on the rest ever kind of went out on me or had some issues. So he shot well with it, had a good time, said it shot just smooth, it was butter. So I wanted to go ahead and give it a shot, but I also wanted to kind of see what the A400 versus the Stoeger M3000, both with modified chokes, look like at 25 yards, and then maybe back it up to 35 yards and see what happened there. And I also wanted to shoot a 2 3/4 versus a 3-inch. So I've got number 4 shells of what I'm using right now. That's what I like to hunt with. So we're gonna go ahead and give that a go. So I'm gonna shoot my A400 first. I got it on the rest. I'm gonna shoot at 25 yards. You can see down here, I've got 2 targets set up. I know they're not 30 by 30 targets, but they are 34 inches tall by about 26, 27 inches wide. And really with me right now, I'm looking for high and low because I did adjust the shim in this shotgun. So I know some of you guys are gonna say, hey, get a 30 by 30 target. I did already. I did that pattern test that you guys saw. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can go take a look at that one as well. But I am shooting from a solid rest. Therefore, there is no shooter error. It's going to be just me putting the bead on the X and seeing what we can do. So stay tuned. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. So here's what we got. We have some Hevi Hammer 3-inch. These are 1 1/4 number 4s. I'm going to run those through both the Stoeger and the A400 at 25 yards and see what happens with that, all right? So here we go. A little different shooting from a rest like this. And ready? Right underneath this X, fire in the hole. All right, guys, so that was the A400 with a modified choke at 25 yards. Now I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna use the same ammunition. I've got the Hevi Hammer 3-inch, 1 1/4 number 4s. I'm gonna run it through the Stoeger M3000. Now, the A400 is a gas system, whereas the Stoeger here is inertia driven. So I'm interested to see how this actually handles, because all I've shot are pump shotguns and this Beretta A400. So I'm really interested to see how this works. So let's give it a go here. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Put her in the rest. I'm gonna aim right below the X, which some of you guys in comments said, hey, put the target on top of the bead. So that's what I'm going to give it a try this time. Ready? All right, and fire in the hole underneath. There we go. Nice. Let's go take a look and see what we got. But I can tell you already, my first initial, that's the first shot I've ever shot with this gun. And the A400 handles the kick a lot better than the Stoeger does. Now, again, you've got a roughly $1,600 shotgun versus a $400 to $500 shotgun. So, I mean, there is a big difference in the way it works up. Watching Michael shoot this gun yesterday, the day before yesterday, I'm sorry, it cycled really well, never had a jam. It seems to be true. A lot of you guys love shooting these little stogies, so I went ahead and knocked this off. That initial shot I was pretty happy with. It didn't kick too much, but I can definitely tell you, if you guys are looking for a difference in a Beretta A400 versus a Stoeger, the A400 is going to handle the recoil a lot better than the Stoeger does. All right, so I've got 3 more targets set up down here. I'm sticking at 25 yards because that's pretty much the sweet spot for us waterfowlers we want to be at to know how our pattern is doing. From what I've read, heard, talked to different people, pattern at 25 yards. In some other videos, I pushed back to 35, even 50 yards, just to see what the pattern did. For the most part, if I'm at 25 yards, I should be able to kill these birds. So I want to see if I can get that in there and keep it consistent at 25 yards. Now with the Stoeger, I thought it handled really well. It handles very, very well. It's a light gun, shoots really well, cycles really well, pretty easy to break down. I really enjoyed the gun. It was a good shot with it. I don't have any more chokes. I got an improved cylinder and I've got this modified that I was shooting. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it rest right now, because I want to try to see what my Code Black Duck and my Code Black Goose do at the 25 yard range. So what I shot earlier was a Kicks High Flyer, and it's a modified Kicks High Flyer, and that's what that pattern was over here that we just shot. So now I want to go see what the Kicks versus a Code Black Duck and a Code Black Goose look like. All right, same shells, number 4s. Let's just see what it does. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot this white sign for the first one. This is the Code Black Duck on my Beretta A400 Extreme Unico, and we're going to go ahead and give it a shot and see. So we're going to aim for center and put the bead below the cross and fire. It's like a pretty dang good pattern right there, just looking at it from here. All right, let's see what my Code Black Goose can do at the 25 yard mark. All right, same thing, number 4. Put it right underneath the X. Looks pretty good from here. All right guys, so I'm down to my last target. What I originally thought I was going to do was take the Code Black Goose, walk it back to 35 yards and see. My pattern is really tight on both the Patternmaster Code Black Duck and the Patternmaster Code Black Goose. So those are both 3-inch shells. What I'd like to do is take a 2 3/4 shell and see what that actually comes out to play, because I've been kind of kicking back and forth between going back to 2 3/4. Read some articles and heard from some people on YouTube that a lot of people are switching to that 2 3. Easy on the shoulder. If you get the birds to come in within that 25 yards, 30 yards, you're still deadly. So what I want to do is see if it's a big difference on paper, the 2 3/4 versus the 3-inch. So let's let the round speak for itself, and then we'll make our decisions afterwards. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, this is a Federal Speed Shock, 2 3/4, 1 1/8, number 4 shot. So we're gonna see what that does. 25 yards with the Patternmaster Code Black Goose. Let's see what we can get done with this right now. Same thing, I'm going to put the bead underneath the X. Pull the trigger. All right, let's go take a look. All right, guys, let's go take a look. So something I've just started doing really is documenting my patterning, because I've never really done it before. I just kind of taken the shotgun out of the box and gone out and seen how things work out and just kind of run the gauntlet with it. So this is pretty interesting to actually see the difference. Man, I can tell you right now that the number 4s in that heavy are different than the number 4s in this 2 3/4. Now, this one's a lot more spread out, in my opinion, than the other Code Black Goose. So that's pretty interesting to see. Stay tuned. When I get back to the house, I'll give you a better idea of what we got done. We'll do a little rundown on how things played out, and maybe you guys can make a decision on what you think. But to me, I really like the Code Black Goose and the Code Black Duck with this heavy steel that I've got. So pretty good combination. All right, see ya. 1. All right, guys, well, I just got home. We left the lease, came back home. I wanted to get home so I could take a Sharpie and mark all the pellet holes. That way you could see them better and see the pattern for what it really was. When you're patterning on these cardboard pieces, it's really kind of hard to make it out on camera. At least I find it to be. So I wanted to make it as simple and easy for you guys to be able to see what the patterns look like. Without further ado, let's take a look and see what we got. All right, mind the mess in my garage, sorry. So we're gonna start right now with what we started off shooting. So what I started off shooting was the M3000, the Stoeger M3000 at 25 yards with a modified factory choke with number 4s versus the A400, the Beretta A400, 25 yards modified choke, but that's a Kicks High Flyer modified choke. Also shooting the same number 4 shot. So I'll go ahead and let you guys take a look at it. These are the patterns. So right here on your left is going to be the modified M3000 Stoeger. And you can see there in the middle is the X. I had some electrical tape on there, kind of makeshift out in the field, but a nice tight pattern, centralized tight pattern. Now it does start to spread out up here, and down here you can see there's a little bit of pockets and holes. 25 yards, it's a little bit loose for what I'd like. Now again, I didn't have any other aftermarket chokes to try with the Stoeger at this point because I just got it for my son. So we're gonna try another test later on, but we're almost halfway through the second split, so I'm kind of running out of time. This right here on the right, this is the A400 with the Kicks High Flyer number 4 shot. Now again, it's a little bit tighter pattern than what you're seeing over here. If you really get dived in here, some of these holes right here are 2 and 3. Here's a little group here that's real tight. I mean, if this is your bird, say, you've got a good kill radius here. So this is the 25 yards for the A400, modified choke, modified choke. Now, okay, so as you can see with both these modified shots, they're gonna kill. They're gonna kill a duck if it's in the area, if you put it on, if you give enough lead, if you put the bead there, it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. This is a good pattern here in the middle for this Stoeger. And by all rights, my son should be dropping ducks as long as he has the right hold on there. With the A400, with the Kicks High Flyer, if I had to switch out my chokes for some reason, I've got a really good consistent pattern right here. I mean, that is some tight grouping right here in this little area. So as far as I'm concerned, at 25 yards with a modified choke, you're dropping birds, okay? Let's move over to what I really wanted to look at, which was the Code Black Ducks. Code Black Duck and the Code Black Goose. Now the Code Black Duck is essentially a full choke, and the Code Black Goose is an extra full choke. I've patterned these before and I've not gotten the results I wanted. In fact, I was really disappointed. You could probably see those in some of the other videos I shot. They just really didn't have that tight Patternmaster, the tight pattern that Pattermaster is known for. So this go around though, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I'm very pleased with the pattern. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. This right here is the Code Black Goose and the Code Black Duck. So let's take a look at the Code Black Duck first. 25 yards, shooting the same ammunition, number 4 shot, 3-inch. It's Hevi Hammer. Look at how tight this group is. That is a tight group. Now again, this is a full choke. This is a Code Black Duck full choke. Very, very good tight pattern. You only have maybe one flyer down here, one over here, another one down over here. Everything else is pretty consistent in that area. That's gonna just destroy a duck if you're in that 25-yard range. Now, we're gonna shift over here to the Code Black Goose, which is the extra full. And it did what it's supposed to do. Look how tight that group is on the X. I mean, it is tight, guys. Where I've got X's, I had to draw on top of X's where it's so tight. So this is my hand, look at that. That is a tight pattern. If I lead the duck correctly, nothing's leaving there. It's going to be getting taken home in the cool. Only a couple flyers. There's a flyer right over here. There's another one right over here. And then 2 down here. You can see those. Everything else is pretty consistent. Let's get a tape measure. I think it's safe to say that I found the load I'm going to be shooting the rest of the season with. So what I'm shooting are these Hevi Hammers. And they're the 3-inch number 4s. They're pushing about 1,500 feet per second. They're 1.25 ounces. You know, I've shot some of these before in the past. I like the way they move. I usually shoot the heavy metal or the Hevi Hammer when I'm going with this brand. So actually really happy with the performance it did here. So I hope this... All right, guys. So we've kind of broke down our modifieds that are back behind us. These are both modified chokes, Kicks High Flyer and a factory modified. And then we also came over here and we've got the 2 Code Black Duck full and extra full chokes. And now I want to throw in there, and those are all done at 3-inch. Those are all 3-inch number 4s, Hevi Hammer. And as I showed you earlier in the video, I did one that was a little bit off. It wasn't the same normal that we've been doing. This is I shot it with the Code Black Goose at 25 yards. It's 2 3/4 number 4 Federal. And I showed you what that load was earlier. But I want you to take a look at what the pattern looks like, and then you guys in your comments below, give me your thoughts if you think this Federal load handled as well as our Hevi Hammer load. Shooting out the same gun, same choke. Take a look. This is the Code Black Goose, 25 yards, 2 3/4, number 4 shot. It's a good pattern. It's a great pattern, don't get me wrong. It's got a nice split. Majority of the pellets are above it. But when I'm comparing the Code Black Goose here versus the Code Black Goose right here, that is night and day, guys. Code Black Goose number 3s, or I'm sorry, Code Black Goose, 25 yards, 3-inch number 4s on this target. Code Black Goose, 25 yards, 2 3/4 number 4 on this target. Look at the difference that Hevi Hammer versus Federal. This is Federal, this is Hevi Hammer. Hevi Hammer, Federal. Same gun, same choke. This is the exact reason why I patterned my gun. I want to know what's coming out of there, what round works well with my shotgun and my choke. I am sold on the Patternmaster brand. They're a great company. The customer service is awesome. I'm not affiliated with them by any way, but I bought into their brand. I bought into the system that they have, and it's proven. It's just you got to find the right round to go with your gun and your choke, and I think I found it. This is what I'm shooting the rest of the season. Hevi Hammer, 3-inch number 4s, 1.25 ounces, 1,500 feet per second. That's my go-to for the rest of the year. So let's see if I can drop some birds in the next couple hunts to come up, because I've been unsuccessful shooting others, and I really feel like it's because I'm just not comfortable. Now I am. Now I know what I'm shooting. So if you liked the video, if you thought it was helpful, which I really hope it was helpful for some of you guys trying to make that decision on what choke to run or what round to fire through your Patternmaster, please hit the like button, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe below. I know a lot of you guys are watching the video and it doesn't take 2 seconds just to hit that little thumbs button and a subscribe. It means the world to me. I really appreciate it. Until next time, guys, get out there and pattern your guns, and we'll see you. Peace.